All right, welcome everyone inside the Media Center here at the Thornberry Creek LPGA Classic. I am now joined by our 2019 champion, Shanshan Feng. What an incredible final round. How are you feeling now that you're just stepped off the golf course?
Of course, I feel really good because I think that, I had a really good day today. I mean, out of the 4 rounds, nine under today was actually the lowest, and it's the lowest score for me in a while. And, I didn't actually get to play with Aria in the same group, and I don't look at the leaderboard, so I actually had no clue like what the others were doing before, I finished the round. And then the way that when I was walking up the hill on the last hole 18, I saw there were so many people, looked like they were ready to have the ceremony already. So I was like, oh, maybe I'm winning already. And then after I marked the ball, I looked up the leaderboard. I was like, hang on, there are 2 person tied at 28 under. I was like, so I have to make this putt to actually to be able to win. So suddenly, the little putt made me a little nervous, but I've been playing really well this week, and I was like, just another good putt and a good stroke, and it went in. So I was really happy about it.
You said on the green that this win, this round, really boosted your confidence. How much did it do for you coming up into the rest of the summer stretch?
Well, I haven't been having a good year so far. I missed all 3 cuts at the first 3 majors, and then so I was, kind of a little lost. But I knew that I'm just making changes to get better in the future. So I was trying to gain a little distance, and then after I gained the distance, and then I kind of lost the control about the direction and the distance. But started last week, I felt like my iron game it kind of came back, and this week I think I got everything together, which is what I said end of last week. I said, I just hope that that I can be in the winning circle as soon as possible, and then actually this week I did it.
All right, we'll open it up to questions here. Oh, down in front.
Congratulations, Shanshan.
Thank you.
About those irons, can you talk about the 2 on 16 and then on 18? You both stuck it awfully close.
Actually, I think I used 8 iron quite a lot on the back 9 because I think the 14th hole, which I hit the 8 iron and then to tap in, and then 16th, it was 8 iron again, and then I hit to 3 feet, and last hole was 8 iron again, and I hit it to 4 feet. So I guess, that 8 iron was, maybe my best friend this week. And I think, I just try to use my 8 iron as much as I can in the future, maybe.
How much of this community, when you came off the green, there were so many people just cheering your name, and for you, you said you wanted to get back into the winning circle as soon as possible. When you saw those crowds cheering for you, knowing that you had won, how did you feel right away?
Well, I knew that, it would be a tough competition today because weather's nice, not much wind, and this golf course is like a birdie or eagle contest. And so I knew that I would have to go low to be able to win, and I just aimed for 30 under because that was my goal at the beginning of the week. I was like, if I can get to 30 under, I think I can win. And if I still don't win, that means it's just not my week. So I was still going for the 30 under until the last hole. When I made a par on the 17th, I knew that I wasn't going to reach the 30, but I was still going hard for the 29. So that's why I actually hit a very good second shot on 18th.
You said yesterday that you were paired with Tiffany Joe, who is one of the funnest personalities on the LPGA Tour. You were with her again today in the final pairing. What was that like for you all over again?
Well, I felt like I was very lucky because the first 2 days I had Amy Yang, which is one of my best friends on the tour. So, the first 2 days were super nice. And then the 3rd and 4th day, the weekend, I got Tiffany Joe. So another very nice, funny person. So I would say that I was very lucky to be able to pair it with them. And I just really enjoyed it. Doesn't really matter, how I played, but I just really enjoyed the whole process and the whole game.
Now, with a win under your belt, what are your expectations and what are the goals for yourself for the rest of the season?
Well, my next goal is actually to win a major. So I think it's still not running out yet. I still got 2 more chances this year. So, I will go for it.
Any other questions right here?
Shanshan, you said you weren't looking at the leaderboard. So where did you think you were when you got to 18T? Did you have any idea?
I thought I was winning already because like everything was set and you could tell like around the green, like, the people were ready for the trophy presentation. So I was like, maybe I was winning already. But then before I putt, I looked up the leaderboard. I was like, oh no, I have to make this one. So, just in case, I don't want everybody to be waiting for us when we have the playoff and just let everybody to go home as quick as possible. So I made that putt.
So you weren't playing it safe with your approach shot? You didn't even know? You were just like, I'm going to hit it close? Was that kind of?
I didn't know anything. But I was going for, like I said, my goal was 30 under. And, I was 28 when I had 1 hole left. And I was like, even though I don't get to 30, I still need to go for the 29. And that was what my goal was. So I hit a very good shot, and that was lucky enough. Because if I knew, maybe I didn't know if I could hit it that close.
Yeah, with so many people near the top of the leaderboard heading into play today, Shanshan, how do you keep yourself from looking at the leaderboard versus focusing on going after that 30 under?
Well, I didn't even know I was leading the tournament after 3 days. Because, my habit is like I don't check the scores like during the tournament, the whole tournament. So even after the first day, after second day, after third day, I don't check anything. So, and then until, I teed off this morning, I was like, oh, it looks like I'm the last group. So maybe I was leading, but I was tied with Tiff Joe and I didn't know what the others were doing. So I was like, just keep going, concentrating on my own goal, go for the 30 under, and let's see.
Is that something that you've been doing even for forever since you've been on this tour?
Yeah, forever. So I've had like a few times it was pretty funny because after I make the last putt on the final hole, and of course, the camera's going to be right on your face, right? On my face. and I looked, like a few times, I looked pretty confused. I was like, why people are, clapping, like they're screaming. I'm like, what happened? And then I looked up the leaderboard. I was like, oh, I won. Okay. So actually, that happened quite a few times, even including the Olympics, because I didn't know anything. And then on the last hole, I missed a birdie chance, but I made the par, and then people kept clapping. I was like, oh. And then I asked Mercer. I was like, where are we? Mercer's like, we're second, tied for second. I was like, how many people? He's like, 2. So I was like, looks like I got a medal. So that was when I knew it, Yeah. But I think it's a good habit because it can keep me concentrating on my own plan and stick to my own plan. And doesn't matter, what the others are doing.
That being said, you talked out there about when you were accepting your trophy, how much this meant to you. It's been kind of a tough year, you said. Can you talk a little bit more about how much this victory does mean to you?
Well, my last win was over a year and a half ago. And the last season, even though I started the season as the world number 1, but I didn't have any wins. And then my rankings went like from maybe number 1 to 30th maybe. And then, I just couldn't stop it from going down. And, especially I was missing the cuts at the majors. Of course, that's going to hurt the rankings. And but what I was always thinking was, I just need to get my ball striking back. And because I know my putting wasn't that bad. I think, my ball striking was just a little bit lost, little off. So I think it started last week. My ball striking started to be a lot better. So I knew that this week, I would have to go low. And I was very concentrated on every shot. And then, that really helped. And at the end, I was lucky enough to win by 1 stroke. But I would say that, it's been a great win because I think now I got my game back, I got my confidence back, and I believe that I can win more in the future. Yeah.
All right, any other questions out here? All right, with that, thank you, Shanshan, so much.
Thank you.